Hey everyone, and welcome to the Mae Cave. My name is Megan, and today I'm bringing you my year in books for 2018. I'm going to go over how many books I read, number of stars I gave out, that kind of thing. I will be doing my top 10 books in a separate video though, but for now, let's get into what I read. So for this year, I read a total of 67 books, not including the books I DNF'd, in which totaled 7 books that I DNF'd. The 67 books that I did read include one beta read, which was not included on my Goodreads, and then one book that I read at the end of the year called Beasts by Joyce Carol Oates. I started this 2 days before December ended, and I could have finished it the last day of December, but I just ended up doing other things and kind of ignored it. But I read the majority of it in December and finished it January 1st in the morning, so I consider it part of my 2018 wrap-up. So 67 books. There's also 2 books I'd like to mention that I started in December of 2017 and finished in January of 2018 that I'm pretty sure I counted in my wrap-up for 2017. So for now, I'm just mentioning them, but they're not part of the number 67. And from here on out, they will not be part of anything that I talk about, star ratings, that kind of thing. So those, I think I already put pictures up, but Tooth and Talon by Alex Hernandez and Feast of Roses by Indu Sundarshan. Feast of Roses is the second in a trilogy that I started in 2017 and finished in 2018. So on top of that, so let's just reiterate, 67 is a book that I read, plus 7 books that I DNF'd. And then there is 1 book that I started in 2018 that I will be finishing in 2019, and I will consider it part of my wrap-up for 2019, because I read most of it this year and I haven't finished it yet. And that is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco, and it's a buddy read I'm doing with Books with Alyssa J, who I will link down below. She has a really great channel. Go check her out. There were actually 7 of the books that I read were actually graphic novels, which is pretty cool for me. I had never read a graphic novel until 2017, I believe. So 6 of those graphic novels were Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novels, and one of them was a Wonder Woman graphic novel that I bought for my sister for her birthday, and I had time until I gave it to her, and it looked so good that I read it before I gave it to her. So I am hoping to get to more graphic novels in 2019, most specifically the Firefly graphic novels, especially because I just bought my husband the first Firefly actual novel for Christmas. So it was really cool that I had some graphic novels in for last year, and I'm hoping to get more in for 2019. So now that we've gone over all those numbers, because I like to be super accurate about the numbers that I give out, let's go into my star ratings. This does include my DNFs. So 4 of my DNFs got 0 stars, which are the only books I didn't give any stars to. There were 1 book that I got 1 star rating, and that was a DNF book, and that was the Jean M. Owl book, the last one in the series. So I already blanked on the name. Land of the Painted Caves, I think. I put a picture up here, I'm sure. So, and then for 3 stars, there were, 2 stars. 3 books got 2 stars this past year, one of which was one that I DNF'd, and that was Rough Animals by Ray Del Bianco. There were 15 books that got 3 stars, one of which was one that I also DNF'd, and that is The Orchard by someone whose name I can't remember, but I got about halfway through this book. That's why I gave it a star rating, and I feel like it's something I may want to read again. I just kind of got bored with parts of it, and I just didn't want to finish it, but I ended up giving it to my mom because I think she would enjoy the book actually more than I did. She hasn't read it yet though, but that's okay. There are 35 books that I gave 4-star ratings. Actually, I think it's 34 books. I forgot the number now. And then there are 14 books that I gave 5-star ratings. Yeah, 14. Pretty sure those numbers match up, because I just realized that Goodreads told me a certain number, and then that included the 2 books that I finished over this is winter of last year. That's the number. I have all the pictures up here, so that's okay. Out of all the books that I read last year, 13 of which were ones that I won or received as an ARC in a giveaway or got contacted by the publisher. One of those 13 books is one that I DNF'd, and that was The Orchard. I won that in a giveaway and ended up not finishing it. And I guess that's kind of it. I was going to go over my page numbers. I was going to do some Goodreads stuff. So Goodreads says I read 20,940 pages. I don't count that as accurate because I couldn't always find an edition on Goodreads that had the same number of pages as the book that I was reading, and I don't know if Goodreads, when I finish reading a book and I say, oh, I ended on page 720, but then Goodreads thinks it has 800 pages, does it then count all 800 pages once I say I've completed the book, or does it only go to where I stopped? I don't know, which kind of bugs me. I don't like that. And I know it says that my longest book was Shelters of Stone by Jean M. Owl, and that is true, but it says there was 980-something pages. The book actually had 770-something pages, the edition that I have. The shortest book I read was Iron Giant, which was at 79 pages, and that was a really short middle grade chapter book. The highest rated book on my list was actually Africa and Artist Safari by Fred Krakowiak. This one, it's funny because it has an average of 5-star rating, and I think that's because very few people have actually given it a rating, and we've all given it 5 stars, which is how it has such a high rating. So I thought that was pretty funny. The most popular book on my list is Inkheart, the first book in the Inkheart trilogy, with, what was the number? 354,921 other people have read that book out of the list. And then the least popular book on my list is The Malibu Conspiracy by H.L. Rothel, which actually only came out in 2018, I'm pretty sure. It's a really new book, and only 0 people had read it. I was the only one on Goodreads so far, which is kind of sad, but it is pretty new, and she's not a very big author. I will definitely link her down below. I think her book was in my top 10 books of 2018, just a hint if you haven't watched that video yet. I don't know if that video is going up at the same time as this video or before or not. But those are all the stats that I wanted to go over for this video. I didn't want to go too in-depth with a bunch of statistics or anything. I don't really track a lot of stuff. I don't obviously track my pages. I just let Goodreads do its thing, and I kind of guess that that's around what I read. If there's anything that you wanted to know that I didn't answer in this, you can definitely ask me down below, and I'll happily find the stat for whatever you want to know, if it's however many female authors I had, or however many books I had in whatever, maybe how many historical fiction books I read or something, which I thought about doing, but some books kind of like go between genres, so I just didn't. But if you'd like to know, I'm happy to answer the question in the comments down below, or any question you have for me. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.